Hey guys, now in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at one of the most versatile, portable laser projectors that I've seen on the market in quite some time. We're talking about the Hisense C2 Ultra. And this is a tri-chroma, tri-color laser projector that's going to be able to give you images, get this, as small as 65 inches, if you can call that small, to 300 inches. And the best part about this is that this thing is ultra portable. We're talking about you can have it in a fixed location, or you can take it with you camping, you can put it in your backyard, you could take it to a football party, because again, it is tiny, compact, and full of power. Let's get right to it. Now the Hisense C2 Ultra is a trichroma, tricolor laser projector. Try to say that really quick. And as I mentioned, you have fantastic image quality and size going to come out of this projector. 65 inches all the way up to 300 inches. 4K UHD picture quality, and this thing is bright. As you can see here, this is in daylight. Nothing special is going on. This is coming straight out of the camera, and you can see how well this projector performs in daylight. We're talking about 3,000 ANSI lumens, and that brightness really makes this usable to the extent that it could be a replacement TV, like a physical TV. What's even more impressive is that this product has a gimbal, right, that's going to give you 360-degree horizontal adjustment, right? It also has a 135-degree vertical adjustment. So as you think about those numbers, you're probably asking yourself, well, what does that mean? Well, let me tell you this. This projector, as part of my test, is actually sitting at the foot of my sofa and giving me the image that you see right here. It is automatically adjusting itself to the screen size that I have in front of me, which is 120 inches, and it is giving me this kind of image quality. This is absolutely a fantastic projector that really it's about designing a room to fit a projector, and it's more about the projector fitting the room. This is what we're talking about here. So it is really flexible, and then it's also super powerful. So you're talking about also having Dolby Vision with HDR10 MEMC, 2000:1 native contrast. It does have optical zoom, right? HSR 240 high refresh rate, right? And this is, for example, designed for Xbox. It has IMAX enhanced. It has seamless auto keystoning correction. And that's, when you look at this image that you see here and the fact that, all I literally did was turn on the projector, point it against the wall, and then it automatically adjusted to this, it really speaks to how it does that auto correction. It also then has autofocus, so you don't have to worry about setting the focus. You don't have to worry about, are you getting it right, because the system does it automatically. And then what it also does is it has this really cool obstacle avoidance technology that adjusts the image so that if you have imperfections in your wall, something in the way, it kind of will make it fit. And what you see right here is literally the projector, as I pointed it against the wall, it basically took a look at the wall, it saw my screen, and it automatically fit the screen image to the screen I had on the wall, and it avoided my windows. That's obstacle avoidance. It basically avoided my windows, and it just put it right where it needs to be. So the other thing that's really cool is that it has this intelligent wall color adaptation. Because let's face it, not all of us may have a projector screen where that you're projecting on. So if you just have a wall and you'd like to be able to get the best, I would say, video quality, despite the color of your wall, which, let's face it, not all of us have either a dark gray or that would be suitable, or a white that would be suitable for projection. You may have to be, modifying or adjusting things. This will automatically take into account the colors of your wall, and it will basically adapt itself to give you the best color quality. So that's going to be something that's also pretty spectacular, and in my case, I would say very differentiating. So not only are we talking about great video, right? Great performance for movies and for gaming, we're also talking about great audio. JBL audio, 40-watt, 2.1 channel audio built in. Now, and it does have an independent subwoofer. What that means is that this is literally a theater in the box. So if you want to be able to, again, enjoy a theater experience, and you're planning on building your living room to act as a theater, because I'm not talking about having a dedicated theater space. We're talking about any room in your home can be a theater. If you're really looking at building it out and you would like to start with this as your all-in-one solution, you can. It has great audio, DTS VX. It also has this Vita Smart TV technology, which is kind of like a little bit of Android in there. I think it may be Android skinned. I'm not quite sure because, you basically have all of your apps. So you're going to have, your Netflix, your Amazon Prime Video. You have, you'll notice all the technology or all the streaming services are there. Paramount, HBO, everything is there. So you'll be able to stream all the services. And the cool thing about this is that you don't need any additional devices. But let's say if you do, there's also additional ports that you'll see close up that you could plug in your Apple TV or a separate Android TV or separate Google TV if that's what you want to do. But all if you want is on the box, this is going to give it to you. It also supports AirPlay 2 and Apple Home. It has, like we said, it's Android compatible. It has Wi-Fi 6E and 25,000 hours of entertainment. That's going to be more than enough for many of us for a lifetime. Energy saving, and also they really took into account making sure that the product was very recyclable. Now, let's take a closer look because you're seeing the performance here. You're seeing the video quality. We're going to take a look at the product up front. We're going to see the menu. We're going to see some of the configuration options. And what I have to tell you is that the actual image quality that we got from this projector, daylight and nighttime, is unparalleled to many of the projectors that we see on the market. It is compact, it is powerful, and if there's one thing I'd like to see in this is probably, because I can see myself traveling with this more and more, is probably a little travel case, something that is just more suitable for me to take it on the go, because I could literally see going to a friend's house, watching a football game, and then busting this projector out and then just blowing everybody's mind and watching something in a garage or watching something in their living room and just transforming it into a theater. So there's very little that I see that needs to be improved with this projector outside of maybe some of the options for portability. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. Now the C1 Ultra has that gimbal-like function, and this is what it's all about. The fact that it can rotate like this really easily, and the fact that it can tilt up and down also really easily. It does have the subwoofer. It has right here your power button. It also then has an audio out that you have right there. But then it also has a really healthy complement of ports, right? So first of all, you do have an HDMI here with eARC capabilities. HDMI 2 as well, right next to it. That again is going to give you a lot of flexibility when it comes to having multiple sources. You have 2 USB ports, right, that you're going to be able to use. You also have SPDIF out, and then you have that Ethernet capability. So a lot of capabilities you have here connected in the back, and this runs extremely quiet. I don't hear it. It's not hot blowing. It is quiet. Now on the bottom here, you'll find your power port. So this is where you'll supply power. And then as we rotate this, because we can, what you'll see here, and I haven't even taken off the plastic yet, you do have all the sensors and everything that's focused forward, right? And once again, you have that IMAX enhanced capability or feature that you see there. And again, this is going to be something that's going to pair really nicely in your home or apartment, dorm. This would work in a dorm. And if you have one of these in your dorm, lucky you. And you also have an optional stand that you can actually have this raised off of the floor. But if you're in a downtown apartment and you'd like to have a projector and don't want to mount it on the ceiling and would like it sitting to the left or to the right on a coffee stand, or with the stand, the optional stand that you can get, this guy's going to do it for you. Now the last thing we'll take a look at here is the actual remote, and the remote is pretty straightforward. So you do have your directional keypad, you have your hot buttons here for all the services that you would use for streaming. Obviously, you have volume up, volume down, you have some brightness adjustment here, home button, like you would expect with most remotes. This is a backlit remote, right? So all these things will light up at night, which is going to make it really easy for you to find and actually navigate if you have to. I pretty much know where all the buttons are by heart, so I don't even look at the remotes, but some people do. Now, this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is where the projector is. It's on the floor. It's not on a fancy stand. There is a fancy stand that you can have, and I actually prefer the fancy stand, but if you have it on the floor, it works too. So this is great. This you could take anywhere with you. You can put it in the box and travel with it, and then put it on the floor and have an amazing image like the one you saw there. All right, guys, so let's take a closer look at the operating system. And again, I just have to highlight how gorgeous and the quality of the image that we're getting from this projector. This projector is actually sitting on the floor right in front of my sofa. And the projector that's in front of it is actually a Hisense PX2. It has nothing to do with the image that you see on the screen. You can see on the left and the right, you can see the kind of light that's coming into the room, and it's just doing spectacularly well. The fact that it could be on the floor and give me this kind of image really means that the projector can conform to many different room types, which is something that is really difficult nowadays. Typically, if you're consulting someone about a projector, the discussion really is about the room, the lighting, and the size, the distance. And what I love about this projector is that it really conforms to the rooms for you. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. So you're going to have all of the standard apps that you would expect: Netflix, you see Amazon Prime, you have Disney Plus, Apple TV, you could see Paramount Plus, Peacock is here. All the ones that you would expect, YouTube TV, are all here, and you'll be able to access those. And the performance of this projector is really, really fluid. I've been really impressed with how quickly things move. Now, this is running Vita, which is almost like an operating system or a skin that's on top of, I would say, almost like Google TV or Android TV, because these apps are all Android TV. I don't know that they are actually anything specific to this specific operating system outside of the way Hisense has implemented it here. Now, if we go over here for a second, you can see I have my credentials for a login. You have notifications, you have input, and if I go into input, you can have home. There's some things here that you can't see because they're not selectable: screen sharing, content sharing, music sharing, and then you have your connection guide. Let's go back into that so you can see what's going to go on there. When you choose your connection guide, there's onboard help, which is really nice. There's a lot of help where you don't have to download anything. You can just do things straight from the projector. This is an electronic manual. I really like the implementation of this. If we go into our settings, you're going to see here that you have your picture mode. You can go dynamic, right? And if I go in here, you'll see it at the very bottom. You can go dynamic, cinematic, cinema day. You could go into the filmmaker, so it's going to show it the way the filmmaker intended. Enhanced ACR, and then again, this is going to be all based on the type of, I would say, movie or content that you're consuming, and then the room that you have and how you want to see your content, because you could also go standard. So you have all these different picture modes that you can choose, right? I've chosen dynamic to see your content. Over here, you have your picture mode settings. Here you can apply picture settings for laser luminance level, brightness, contrast. These are all standard settings that you would expect. Color, clarity, motion, overscan, right? So these are the settings that you can manipulate. I have everything running as it is out of the box. You could do auto correction, manual correction, auto screen alignment. And I'm going to go ahead and choose this just so you can see how this works. So it is right now figuring out how much of my screen should be used as my projector screen for watching TV or watching movies. So you notice this is right now aligning. It did a massive pattern. You notice how messed up this is. My image is not in the center. It's not even aligned. But you're going to see how it's going to adjust automatically. Boom. Isn't that incredible? Every single time I see this happen, I just get perplexed by the technology and how it works. So now it's going to do a focus for me, and then it's now in place. That's how easy it is. So you could get a nicely framed image as long as you have, a surface that you're going from, and it does stuff like this. Really, really cool. You have your display zoom, you have picture adjustment or position adjustment. I'm not having to do any of that stuff because it just automatically did it. Autofocus upon motion. You have obstacle avoidance, which is also cool. So if you had a picture frame or something there, it would kind of move to the left or move to the right or move down depending on where the picture is or what's in the obstacle and in the path. You have screen alignment on keystone, which you saw me just do. DLP turbo mode, right? So if you see this, turbo boost, reduce the DLP image processing time to reduce input lag, right? So again, this is going to give you higher performance. How things are implemented, how are you having these the projector installed? I have it on the floor, front ceiling, rear ceiling, rear ceiling as well. Auto flip, the screen type that I have, and do I have a Hisense screen or not? I don't have a Hisense screen, but I still left it selected as such, and you can go into other if you'd like. So a lot of options here. Then you have your sound mode, right? And you have, again, all these different choices as well that you can choose. You have more settings. There's so much that you can configure and personalize, right? Look at this wall mount setup. So if you have it mounted on the wall, you could do that as well. What are your audio setup, right? Look at here. You could do device speakers, you could do ARC, you could do Bluetooth speaker, and you can do SPDIF as well. Now this is a theater in a box, right? So literally you can, the audio that's coming from it is loud enough if you are using this in an apartment, in a dorm setting, whatever setting that is, you can use this as is and then expand on it if you like. Audio output settings, when we go here, again, different configurations that you can use. And then there's also a neat feature that if you're having difficulty hearing the spoken word, what you could do too is choose so that it highlights spoken voice over some of the other things. So if you think about a movie where there's an explosion and things going on, and sometimes you say, hey, what did they say? And you go back, you can actually enable that setting. So here you have some more connection information. You know, there's just a lot here. Accessibility, you have a voice guide, screen magnification, system information. So this is again, you can see there's just so much. So great options, and then also performance. And for those of you who are curious about the apps, let's go into the app section. I'm just going to move over here and want to show you all the things that you can see here. So again, standard TV that you would expect. And you can also notice Plex is already on there as well. And you can go into the App Store. And when you go into the App Store, this is connected all via Wi-Fi. You can see really good performance, and it's broken down by featured apps, games, kids. There you can see movies and TV, and you can see all the things that are there. I'd say that all your movie needs are going to be satisfied by the amount of apps that are here that are available. And don't forget, if there's something that you want to do special, like if you have an Apple TV, you can always plug it into it. If you have a Google TV, you can plug it into it too. You don't have to use the onboard app or the onboard operating system. So anyways, that's the content that you have there, and you could do updates as well. So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.